When it comes to selling your house, you want three things. You want it to sell for the most amount of money in the least amount of time with the least amount of hassle. Am I right? Yes. And while the current housing market is still favorable to sellers due to the limited housing supply, there are still some factors that can cause delays or even prevent a house from selling. So if you're having trouble getting your home sold in this market, here's a few things for you to think about. Number one, are you limiting the access to your house? If you can't show it, then you can't sell it. One of the biggest mistakes that I see sellers make is trying to limit the days and the times when buyers can view your home. In any market, if you want to maximize the sale of your home, you cannot limit the buyer's ability to view the house. Remember, minimal access means minimal exposure. Now, I totally get you don't want people coming in your house at 10 o'clock at night. That's not what I'm talking about. But we've had people who say, well, I'm a day sleeper, so I can't do any showings till 2 o'clock or later in the afternoon. Well, if you've got somebody else who works nights or something and they want to go first thing in the morning as soon as they've got off from work, you're cutting those people out. If you're home on the weekend and you don't want to be inconvenienced, well, the weekends are the biggest time that most people are out looking at houses. So you've got to think about how available your home is to be seen and then go from there. Talk to your realtor about that. Second reason is that it's priced too high. You've got to price it to sell and not price it to sit. Pricing is the most critical factor that will significantly impact your home sale. And y'all have heard me preach this all year. Price your home correctly and prepare it for sale. So sellers who price and market their home competitively should not have a problem finding a buyer. That's according to Jeff Tucker, who's a senior economist at Zillow. Not to mention, buyers today have access to a number of tools and resources to view available homes. If your house is priced unreasonably high compared to similar homes, it may drive potential buyers away. If you go on Zillow to look for houses, you can see what Zillow says that house is worth. Now, granted, Zillow's never been to your house, so their estimate may be off. But if you live in a subdivision with very similar homes, they're going to be somewhat in the range. On rural properties, they tend to be a lot more off. But they can also see what homes have sold for around your house. So if you're pricing it high, buyers know that. And they're not going to pay over and above what a home is truly worth in today's market. Now, the third reason your home might not be selling is because it was not freshened up before listing. So if it looks good, it's going to make a good impression. Pricing it properly, preparing it for sale. When selling your house, the old saying is you never get a second chance to make that first impression. So you have to put in the work on the exterior of the home as well as taking care of what needs to be done on the inside. Freshen up your landscaping, pressure wash your driveway, pressure wash the sidewalk, make sure your gutters are cleaned out. Anything you can do to improve your home's curb appeal will make a huge impact to buyers up front. Don't let it stop at the front door though. Inside, you need to remove your personal items, you've got to reduce your clutter, and you need to give buyers the freedom to picture themselves living in that house. You may need to put a new coat of paint on it, or you may need to get your floors waxed or professionally cleaned to freshen up the room. So the bottom line is, if your house isn't getting the attention you feel it deserves and it isn't selling in the time frame that you wanted, it's time to ask your trusted real estate agent for advice on what you may need to revisit or change in your approach. To get those expert insights, let's connect.